Hey guys, so today's video is all about interviews and paperwork that people want you to fill out during an interview. Here's a real easy, quick, legal fact about all paperwork. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's a bill. It doesn't matter if it's documentation that they want you to fill out during an interview. You don't have to sign anything. You do not have to admit fault, because legally, if you do not admit to anything, it's not your fault. Just like a bill. If you do not acknowledge a bill, you do not have to pay it. That's a fact. Sorry. It's a legal fact. Look it up. When you go on an interview and they ask you, oh, you need to provide your last business that you worked for, how much money you made, and why you left. Why would they ask you those questions? Isn't that a little weird? Isn't it a little intrusive? Yeah, it is. Just like jobs are not legally permitted to ask you, are you married? Do you have kids? Those questions are actually illegal. And yes, you can and should report the people who are asking them, because they will get a fine and they will get in trouble. Why? It's none of your business who, what, where you sleep with, or what you do outside of work. People use these questions against you as to whether or not they're going to hire you. Why would somebody ask, what did you previously make at your last job? So that they know what you are willing to accept. Why would I know this information? Why would you assume that? That's an assumption. I used to work in HR. Before that, I was a recruiter. Before that, I was an executive assistant to multiple CEOs for large corporations. What does that mean? That means that I would help people draft documents, sometimes legal documents, sometimes non-legal documents, for all sorts of different reasons, different corporations, different business sizes, different business models. Why would you need to draft documents? Can't you just go online and grab them? Yes, but some people will use everything you say against you during an interview. Why would they do that? Because there's a lot of people, quote unquote, who are trying to apply for that job. But where they get you is if you say you have previously accepted $14 an hour because you just needed a job. The job that's asking that question will not pay you higher than that because they see it as that's your worth. You have accepted XYZ dollar amount. You signed a piece of paper. Anytime you sign a piece of paper, you legally accept whatever it is. Whenever you work at a job and you don't like how much you're paying, or getting paid, sorry, you are accepting the terms and conditions of that paying job. If you are, let's say you're working at a commission job as an esthetician, you accept whatever the payment for and the hours for that job. So let's say you're commission only, okay? Let's say you're an esthetician or a massage therapist and you're commission only. You will only get paid when you render services. You will not be paid for sitting around in the back and waiting to get services on your books. You will not be paid. A lot of places do not pay for training. It just depends. You'd have to ask them. But you are not going to get anything other than what you signed for. Some places will do the additional, which is why you actually want to read the paperwork. They'll do a probationary period. What does that mean? That means they're allowed to screw you out of whatever they initially agreed upon for the first XYZ months or days. Sometimes it's 3 months because they see it as, oh, well, most people don't stick around for longer than 3 months, so why should we pay them what we promised them? Yeah, legit. That's what some companies who are large franchises or chains honestly think. But if you're going to a small company and on the interview paperwork, it's asking you for your social security number, yeah, don't do that. Until you have in writing that you work for a company, do not give them your social security number. That number is for you. It is not just all willy-nilly, because you don't know what they can or will do with that information. Legally, yeah, they can't do anything legally with it. They can do a lot of things with it, and you would not ever know. Even though, oh yeah, they look like a regular company, you don't know. You have no idea what scams are out there. Assume all jobs are a scam. Sorry, not sorry. Unless you know it's a big corporation, even a franchise. There are some franchises out there that will pay you $10 an hour to be an esthetician or a massage therapist for the first 3 months because, the chances of you sticking around are really low. So why should we actually pay you the $16, $17, whatever it is that they quote unquote, I'm promising to pay you. Yeah, read the paperwork. Or if they ask you in the paperwork, you need to fill out paperwork for a background check. Why would they need a background check for an interview? Because they're using that information against you. Because they will not hire you unless they can check everything on you. So whether you have anything or not, it's none of their business until you actually get hired. When you get hired, then they can ask for a background check, then they can ask for a drug screening or whatever ridiculous thing that they want to ask for. Then they can ask for your social. Until you're hired at a place, do not divulge additional information. You don't even have to sign it, honestly. Filling out their paperwork in and of itself is ungodly waste of time. It irritates the snot out of me. But I do it because I'm like, okay, fine. I will do this one thing. I have a 3.5-page resume. I do not need to fill out 90% of the garbage that is asked for on an interview. Sorry, not sorry. And these places that are small, it's always the small businesses that are like, it's our policy that you give us this additional information. Okay, well, since you're so controlling, I don't want to work here to begin with. Because unless you're a gigantic corporation, sorry, legally, I don't have to fill out any of this. And I don't want to work for someone who's controlling. And if you think I just got out of school yesterday, you're stoned out of your mind. No, sorry, not happening. So as someone who is a former recruiter, used to work in HR, used to be the assistant to people who I would watch and literally see them try to screw people out of interviews. Let me tell you, if a recruiter is calling you, they are telling you the base information that's absolutely accurate. Anything you say can and will be used against you to keep you from getting a job. Because some people who are hiring managers, they don't want women. They don't want men. Some places, they will absolutely judge you based on your accent, how you sound, how you look, if you have freckles, if you have too dark a skin, if you come from the wrong background. As a recruiter, I used to get asked all the time, can you find me a hot, young female to work as my front desk assistant? And we would have to tell them, that's illegal. They don't care. The people who are hiring you, they do not care. Let me tell you. I'm just letting you know so that everybody can be aware. Be careful. You don't have to sign anything. Even if you XYZW whatever, do not admit to it. As soon as you admit to it, then they can take legal recourse against you. I don't care if it's an interview. I don't care if it's a job. I don't care. He said, she said, don't admit to it. If you really didn't do it, awesome. If you did really do it, awesome. Whatever. Use the law to your favor, not against you. Anyway, thank you for listening to me vent. because hopefully this will help other people, because this garbage trap that these small businesses try to put people into needs to stop. And people need to be aware that literally it's a trap. It's literally designed to trap you in a lower paying job. Don't do that. You deserve to make the money that it says on the application or the ad or whatever it is. If they want to try to scam you out of making the money that they claim they're going to pay you, don't let them. Thank you guys. Have a good day.